Well, two-thirds of millennials say they won't ever be able to save $1 million in their lifetime. That's according to a new survey from Wells Fargo. And the firm's Joe Reddy joins me now to discuss this more. So, Joe, that's a pretty eye-opening stat. What do you think is driving this feeling?
It is, Scott, and some of it is sort of the myth of this $1 million magical number. I think it's very doable. In fact, we drilled down on it, and we talked to those people that said they can do it. There was 32% that actually said they could save $1 million, and when we drilled down on it, what we found is two-thirds were saving 5% or more, but more importantly, a full 28% were saving 10% or more. And when we compared that to the two-thirds that said they couldn't, very different numbers. Only a third were saving 5%, and only 7% were saving this sort of the needed 10% or more to hit that number.
Oh, well, what is the path to $1 million, right? You have to start young.
You do. I always say this generation has the biggest asset you can have, which is the gift of time. And so I'll illustrate it for you. If you take someone with a straight $32,000 salary, if they defer 5% a year, increase that 2% a year until they get to a cap of 13%, they can get to $1 million by the time they retire at age 65. And really, that equates to about $26 a week. So it's a very manageable number. I think people just need to understand the math and the power of time.
Starting right out of college.
Right out of college, age 20, starting at age 25, thank you. Yeah.
But do you think this notion that they can't get to $1 million stems from a lack of literacy, or maybe this idea that the markets are rigged against them?
Well, I think there's two things, right? We talked about the myth and we showed them the math, but there are some headwinds, right? So we found out that 1/3 of millennials have a median student loan debt amount of almost $20,000. So that's a headwind. 75% of those folks said that it was an unmanageable debt. However, the good side of that is 7 out of 10 are still in that category, are still actually saving for retirement. So they're on a positive trend, and I think they just need to step up the savings rate.
Well, you mentioned student loans. I mean, is there a way to balance both saving for your future, which is decades away, and still paying off those student loans? I mean, $26 a week is a couple of coffees.
Exactly, and you know what, that's one of the things that we really counsel people on, which is take personal inventory. We know we have the student loan debt. We know it comes due every month, but look at your monthly income, look at your monthly expenses, and see if there's a way you can squeeze out that $26. I think it's very doable, and it's just getting on a path so you can have a secure retirement and leverage that power of time.
And perhaps the most easiest way to start is, just go into your company's 401k account. If you don't have that, maybe opening up a Roth IRA?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, just get on a systematic investment and savings plan. In fact, in this study, 70% of millennials said they really find their 401k plan available to the workplace extremely important for their ability to save. And so to your point, if you don't have access to one, get into an IRA, some way to systematically invest and save, and do it at a young age. Time is their biggest asset.
All right, the key is starting young.
Yes.
All right, Joe Reddy from Wells Fargo, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Scott.
I'm Scott Gamm, and you're watching The Street.